Hello all, welcome back to my channel. My name's Ashley and today we're doing a slightly different video. We're talking about NIMBY Rails. So what is this? Well, it's essentially a game slash simulation rail-based game. It's in very early access, I want to stretch, but the idea of it is that you have the whole world at your fingertips, all the way from America down to South Africa to Australia, and you can plan and build your own rail network. So it's a simple but rather effective game, and I've always been into this, city skyline, and I think it'd be interesting to at least have a look at it. So just to give you an idea of what this is going to be, I'm not going to do a series as of yet. I'll see what you guys think of this, and yeah, I thought I'd just showcase it because it is quite an interesting rail-based simulation. I was really intrigued to see how the roads and everything would be in here, and it's essentially got everything you can imagine on OpenStreetMap. So it's got all the land uses, high schools, but as you can see here, if you're familiar with Wimbledon, the rail tracks have actually been removed from the game. And this is so you can create your own rail network, or what I'm trying to do, a one-to-one-ish, I say ish for a reason, replica of the network. Obviously this is a work in progress, as you can see, but this is my vision of Clapham Junction, roughly, with all the platforms. And you've even got your little, oh god, I don't even know what trains these are. The new overground ones. Someone is bound to correct me down below. But yeah, the idea is you set up your own timetables, you set up the train routes, you can click on each train, for example. So this overground train has 850 passengers, and there's X amount of people going to Willesden Junction, some to Richmond, and the idea is to just transport people from A to B, and possibly C and D if you have interchanges. So I'm going to stick to what I know. We're going to head over to London Waterloo, which is this big void over here. And we're just going to do the southwest line out towards Putney, Richmond, have the little loop that goes round via Hounslow, although that's up here, isn't it? Yeah, we'll figure it as we go along. So I actually heard about this game through one of my friends, and it is early access, as I was saying, so it's very rudimentary in the stuff you can do at the moment. For example, I'm just trying to put in some station platforms at the moment. I know Waterloo has 22 or 24 platforms. It has quite a bit, because they opened these, the old Eurostar ones up. And you can make them as long as you want, so I'm going to put about 200-ish meters. Maybe 175, and you can already see one of the not issues, but the current constraints is that all the platforms are straight. I imagine, with updates they're going to have curved platforms, which will really add another layer to the game. So I'll probably explain as well. You can see that each of these stations, when you place them in, has a radius. So these actually calculate roughly the amount of people in the area. So there is also this overlay up here in map options. There's one called population overlay. And this brings up, I believe it's going to be in the future, it will be OS data and census data. So we'll actually have a pretty rough estimate of the population which is within this circle. I don't actually know the distance, but from Putney Station to the bridge is like, what, 300 meters? 400 meters possibly. So it's not an exact representation of London, but it is a good sort of overview. So I mean, this, for example, says there's 1,908 passengers within this circle, which, if you've ever been to Putney, is not the case. And of course you can also change all these names. I'll do that in a minute, once I place all of them in. So we've got Waterloo, Vauxhall, Queenstown Road, Clapham Junction. This is going to be a Wandsworth Town, Putney, Barnes. Is it called Barnes or Barnes Bridge? Ah, anyway, and this is the point where the track splits. So this one down here goes towards a Richmond with a stop at Mortlake, which, judging by all the little paths, seems to be here. So we'll put another... God, this is quite a lengthy station. See, I imagine here the station would be curved a bit, but obviously we can't do that in this game just yet. So it is actually available on Steam. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you a link to go and download. So we got Mortlake and North Sheen is going in here or here. I think it's actually down here. I mean, that might be a little path down to it. It's actually a good test of your knowledge of London and the stations, for example, because I'm pretty sure this is 4-tracked anyway. Is it? No, it's 2-track down here, and then 4 from Barnes onwards. And then this is also 4-tracked, so Richmond should probably have another couple platforms. And you can overlap these stations. So how it works is you can overlap them to an extent. I just try and match them up, and this will count as one station. So within the station panel, if I get out of it, it will actually tell you how many passengers can be at the station at one point. So at the moment it's 200, but I believe the more platforms you add, with more trains coming, it will allow for more people to transfer, and it's sort of getting that connectivity in place. So I'm just gonna skip this section a little bit forward and type all of these in so I won't bore you, and I'll be back in a minute. Stay tuned. Great, so that's all done now. We've named all the stations from Richmond to Waterloo. And this is quite a busy line. I'm pretty sure there's a train running every, couple minutes when it was peak time. Obviously with, the virus, it's probably not going to be the same, is it? So anyway, getting back to this game, right? I'm going a bit off topic. So we have all the stations. Next thing to do is to add the tracks. And you can see you have all these little pluses, which are essentially the end of existing tracks. So if we head over to the append new tracks button, we have 4 sort of types. We have viaducts, we have standard ground track, trams, and tunnels. So because I take this section quite a bit, I know from memory this is all viaducts, but I'll show you later on how you can just use existing tracks, even ground tracks, shall I say. So everything's in kilometers at the moment. Hopefully there'll be an option to change it to miles an hour later on, just because obviously in the UK we're a bit more familiar with that. And it's literally the most simple thing you could do. You have this little box down here which tells you some of the shortcuts. So if you hold shift, it will just keep on building the track segments for you. So when I say this game's 1-to-1, I mean it's as good as you can get, I think. Maybe it's just me, because I know this is quad tracked up here. You might be able to fit four tracks in here. Maybe I'm just being a pessimist. But yes, so as you can see, for example, we've put this in and this is extremely wonky. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to it, so I have to make sure everything's lined up, and it will tell you the speed sections for each of your tracks. This is in kilometers, so from memory it's 2/3 less to get into miles. I think that's right. 1.65 or something like that. So if it's 350 kilometers, that is oh god, what is that? 200-ish? 200 something? Maybe. My maths isn't my strong point, as you can clearly see. So where are we going now? So we're heading still on this viaduct section. So this is also one of the issues you can see. This straight platform, in reality, Vauxhall is slightly curved, so you do get some sharp corners, but you can't have it all, can you? I think this is a Nine Elms or Covent Garden market. It's a big fruit and veg market, and I think all the hotels, all the big businesses come in the morning, pick up their stuff, and then go serve in their hotels and all. It's a wholesale market, like Billingsgate, if any of you have been in London. So what was my goal for this video? Well, I wanted to just showcase this. There is a video coming out on the Welsh Metro. I'll give you a little insight into that. But right, so after Queenstown Road, I'm pretty sure it's at ground level for most of it. So we can swap over to our ground tool and just build it out here. You can see all the costs are slowly adding up. I know I started this game on $1 billion. Hopefully that doesn't affect us too much as we build this whole line in. Cool. So that's connected into platform 3 and 4. So these are actually both northbound lines heading to Waterloo. And actually there'd be a second track coming down, so you can make that change if you need to, have them exactly running 2 tracks. Shall we do it actually? Yeah, well, let's do it, why not? Once I figure out what I'm doing, let's do it. So we will run all the way up again. I don't think I want money to do all of this, but we'll see. So for example here, Queenstown Road is a 2-station platform, well, a 4-track platform, so we'll have to put that in there. And then Vauxhall has several platforms, maybe 6, something like that. It's really weird doing a video on a game where you can't see me. It's a new style. But yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to do this whole game and maybe not, at the actual speed I'm doing it at now, because I'm still learning, but having a maybe time lapse, or I'll do a couple sections and then maybe give you guys an overview. We can talk about some of the areas, like what's happening in and around London, even going outside. I probably want to do HS1, the Javelin trains down to Dover. Could be quite interesting. And some of you might have noticed actually what I've done. I'm not sure if you can notice, but the track type is slightly different. So I've completely forgotten and just done ground tracks all the way in, and you can see at all these crossing points where these roads cross, it's put in a little bridge over it, and these actually count to overpasses, I believe, whilst the viaduct track is already elevated, so it doesn't apply that. Anyway, this is a test one, so we'll just leave it as it is. So we're at the end, and you can click this little branch tool, and this is how you sort of build junctions and spurs and all. I'm still trying to figure out how to properly use it. It's not the most friendly tool, but as I said, this game is early access. Supposedly you need to hold shift, which doesn't do anything, and it flips the sides. You know what, let's just put that there and bring that out a little bit. We can bring this, well, we can actually delete that section. Like that, delete, 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 and we can join that section up. We need tracks there. I'll get that one day. Okay, cool. So we got the London Waterloo section joined up. This is all dual track to Vauxhall. I'm just going to put this in because I know this is slightly repetitive and a bit boring, which is not what I want this to be. I want you guys to enjoy this and learn a bit about the other areas. So I don't know how many of you are actually from London, but do you have a favorite? So we are going to have to demolish one or more selected tracks already built. Deleting them will not refund your money. That is fine. I needed to clear this route out because we won't be able to get our tracks in otherwise. So this is also something else I've realized. Basically, these tracks go underneath all these little roads, and I could go ahead and put a tunnel underneath it and then come out again and then do another tunnel. It is just a bit of a faff, and obviously I could take a lot more time to do this properly, but that's me. I'm always in a rush, as you might realize. Okay, so we got that. I am aware of my money, how much it's flying down, really. I think one of the developer, actually, I'm not sure it's one person or a company, but his name is Carlos, and it seems like it's actually going to be developed quite a bit more in terms of the programming of how passengers move from one area to another. There is a little blog that he's put up on his channel. I'll hopefully leave a link in the description, and that would just, I really hope that this game develops a little bit further because it has a lot of potential. I can imagine them putting signals, having curved platforms. What else could they do? Having different types of trains. We haven't even got onto the trains yet, which is probably the main reason you're here. Right. I'm just going to build this for now, and I'm just going to put a little train running from Putney to Waterloo, just so you guys can get a feel of how the game works and what it's possible of doing. Right, so once you have your line in, you need to put a depot, which you can press P on the keyboard as well as a shortcut key. So for simplicity's sake, I am just going to put one right outside what's it called, Waterloo Station. Obviously this isn't in the right place, but you get the point. So we'll get some viaduct track and connect that to here. Bear in mind we need to use the branch tool, which I'm still trying to figure out how to work. Oh, here we go. There we go. And we just need to connect the last bit of track together and build blueprints. Please build them. So obviously these could all be lined up a little better, but with time comes wisdom. Great, so we got our depot in, we got a station, we got all the tracks lined up, at least up till Putney. What do we do next? Well, we have to buy some trains. So we can purchase new trains, and this is the interesting thing because it is allowed to be modded, so the potential of this is huge. These bottom 5 or 6, you get some default trains with the game as they are. There's a London one which you can obviously add the number of trains if you want, and it shows you the cost and all that. I've actually downloaded some mods to get some trains for the area. So this is the Class 710. That's the one I'm using on the overground trains. And I don't actually have the 800s which run on Southwest at the moment, so we'll just take this for now. I know they are very long trains. I think they're like 12 cars. I don't even know how many we can add here. Oh wait, we can double these up. 4 cars, 6 cars, 7, 8, 9, 11 car trains. And how long is it? They can't be 20 meters. Oh, here we go, 224 meters. My platforms were 174, which is a bit of an issue. Okay, cool. Let's go with the 4-car trains. So you can type the names of the trains as serial numbers. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not too sure what all this is. I know the trains have some code on the side, which is for the unit numbers or something like that, which probably isn't helping you. But yeah, so you can choose your colors, your decal colors. I think because this is a mod, a preset one, it's kind of just forced to this blue color. So we'll just do that. We'll change this name to 001. And how many trains do we need? So this journey takes, what, 15-20 minutes? So if we have a train every 5 minutes running, you need 4 there and 4 back. So 8 trains, really. Do I have money? 121 to 152. Let's buy it. So we have the trains, we have the routes, we have the stations. Now we just need to make the line. So we click on this line panel here, go to add new line, and we choose a color. We'll go with southwestern red. And this will be the Waterloo to Putney, you know, the famous Waterloo to Putney line. And you can set the price of the tickets and the cost per kilometer. So I kind of just stick it to $2.40. I'm still working in pounds though. I don't charge a price a kilometer, so I think that's just like a zone 1 to 2 card, Oyster card fare. So that's fine. And then all you need to do is add stations and stops on the line. And you can see when you hover onto all these stations, these little A and B pop up, or you know, more letters if it's part of one big station. So we'll start off at Waterloo, we'll head off on number A, and it's just a simple matter of clicking the direction your train's heading for all the routes. We'll go to platform, oh, see, I've clicked that wrong now, but you can delete that, no worries. So that's platform M. From A. I'm not sure if you'll be able to adjust these later on. It would be cool if you could. So after Putney, it's going to swap tracks anyway. I'm going to stop back at Wandsworth Town, Clapham Junction, Queenstown Road. So this is going to be the stopping train. Because obviously you can make express trains, you can make express routes, or make your own routes altogether. Okay, perfect. So we have our little route over here. And what do we do next? Well, we can set the timing and the speed and all this from here. So you can make it as realistic as possible as you'd like. I don't really know the speed route of this section. I imagine it's like 45 miles an hour at most. So I'm just going to put 50 kilometers an hour. And you can just click this estimate leg times and it'll give you a rough time. So 37 minutes and 30 seconds. And this is to go from Waterloo to Putney and back. So it's about 20 minutes each way, which, yeah, I think that's about right. You can also set the minimum time it needs to spend at each station. So I'm just going to put 30 seconds. And we want each train to be, what, 5 minutes apart? Not 50, please. 5 minutes. So we'll set the minimum stopping time between trains. I think I've done this the wrong way around, actually. Yeah. Okay, so the minimal interval time should be 5 minutes. Because we want an interval between trains of 5 minutes. And at each station, it's going to just stop for 30 seconds. And that's, you know, just open the doors and stuff. Okay, cool. Estimated leg times, so 40 minutes and 50 seconds. Fine. And the last thing to do is the timetable. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this properly, but at the moment I just sort of select I pick a line I want the train to go on, so the Watford Putney one, and it's kind of just going to run every day at this time non-stop. Obviously you can set this to run specific times and all, but because this is early access, the timings don't really work too well. For example, you know, it's going to still have the same number of people at 5 a.m. as it's going to have at 5 p.m. And then I forgot one of the main mechanics of this game. Let me actually go to one station that I have open. So for example, let's go to Kensington Olympia. You can see that there are 47 passengers waiting here, and their satisfaction is neutral. Well, it's actually minus 0.02, so they're not the happiest people in the world. And the idea is that you need to make these people as happy as possible by getting them to their destination, you know, as soon as possible, and that's affected by the price, and hopefully a whole load of other factors later on. Okay, cool. So that's basically it. So, you know, he expects 18 minutes to get to Gosberg, which probably isn't going to happen, if I'm honest, if you're all the way at, you know, Kensington Olympia, and the next train is at Clapham Junction. So that's essentially the mechanics of the game. You know, everything's sort of there. We've actually got our little train running, so you can actually follow this. And it's our 8-car train. You can see that over there, and it's just heading off towards Putney, stopping at, you know, all these stops we said on the way, and everyone's very happy. It's actually got quite a lot of people at the moment, 241 people. This train can only hold 496, so hopefully, you know, when we do get some more options, we can adjust how many people fit in a train. So we've only got one of our trains running at the moment. So if I actually go to list trains, I'm just going to put all of them onto this line. So I'm not too sure what you guys think of this game. It's quite simple, but it is very early access, and I'd be interested to carry on this venture, this series with you, just to test it out, hopefully see it develop, similar to the way my channel is slowly getting better, I hope, if you guys agree. And yeah, maybe we develop, you know, start doing the southeast. I might do some time lapse. Let me know what you all think. You know, maybe we just knock this on the head altogether, and I'll just do this on my own time. And you can see this train is just waiting here. So it's got 1 minute 52 left, and that's to keep that 5-minute distance we put in earlier. And this train is just pulling in to Vauxhall. It's probably going to be full by the time it leaves. So there is also a whole, you know, game mechanics with the finances, the accounting. You can see, you know, we've spent 530 million on, you know, new trains, running it, and all this stuff. Actually, that's our total income. But fares are coming in at 140,000, thereabout. So we're slowly getting there. Obviously, there's a lot of tweaking to do. There's a lot of development going forward, and I hope I can actually, you know, have a chat with the community and get this game to what it should be, because I think it has huge potential to be a massive simulation rail building game. Anyway, all what shall we do? I think it's probably time to end the video. That is NIMBY Rails, and this is our little recreation of the Waterloo to Putney line. Yeah, let me know what you think. I will hopefully get some more videos out soon. It's been very busy. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and stay tuned.